Hey everybody, KC here. So the New York Times had a piece the other day talking about how Facebook has become the internet's most popular social network among people over 50. Now, the Times writes, this wouldn't seem so terrible for a company that makes money from advertising as Facebook does. After all, older people are the future of business. According to a recent analysis by AARP, people over 50 now account for more than half the world's consumer spending, and that share is projected to grow to 60% by 2050. The problem is that Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg seem embarrassed by this. Listen, some of that's understandable. He actually created Facebook, or helped to create Facebook, depending on what version you believe, for college students. But Silicon Valley, I think it's fair to say, is in a youth bubble. Youth, the Times writes, is revered. Growing old is a disease, and ageism is acceptable. When Zuckerberg was 23, he actually said the quiet part out loud. Young people are just smarter, he said. Now, Joseph Coughlin, who's the director of MIT's Age Lab, says that this violates common sense. Again, from the New York Times. His lab conducts research on how an aging population is changing business. He said that companies in the auto industry, financial services, retail, and other sectors are coming around to the emerging opportunities of the longevity economy. The 1.6 billion people around the world who will be 65 or older by the year 2050. But not tech and not Silicon Valley. Now let's face it, young people have been leaving Facebook the more their parents and grandparents use it. We know that's a basic truth. And I'll be honest with you, my kids wouldn't be caught dead on Facebook. I get that. Now the one exception seems to be healthcare, where tech companies have been investing billions, especially in how the technology is going to help older people be healthier and treat whatever their disease states happen to be. But as the Times says, if there's more to aging than illness, Silicon Valley doesn't seem to know it. Now listen, I'm a big believer that companies don't necessarily have to make choices when it comes to choosing your customer. Listen, I'm thrilled. Morning Newsbeat, I've got college students who read it, and I have people in their 80s and even 90s who read it. And this makes me really, really happy. I love to engage with young people. And the people in their 80s and the 90s, they think I'm a kid. This is like the best of both worlds. But now, supermarkets and mass marketers have largely focused on catering to broad populations and broad demographics. And I think that makes an awful lot of sense. But I also think it makes sense for retailers to have regular advisory groups made up of customers who are of all different ages, not to mention genders, races, and ethnicities. Now, the word here is diversity. Shh, don't tell anybody. And that's also why retailers should have employee guidance groups made up of folks of all ages, not to mention genders, races, and ethnicities. Because you can't know what people want and people need unless you're engaged in talking to, and mostly listening to, a diverse group of people. There's that D word again. Damn it. Now this makes business stronger, not weaker. The youth economy is powerful. It's a really powerful thing. But so is the longevity economy. And so are a lot of different sort of microeconomies that make up the broader economy. They're just two examples of all the different economies that retailers and tech companies can access, can talk to, can sell to, can listen to. And at the risk of annoying some folks who seem to have lawyers on speed dial, I think the word for it is a diversity economy. Shh. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.